I like as well that they're showing a lot of this fight again. The sandwich is there.
The ever-replenishing sandwich. Well, hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by
Thomas.
And we're about to dive into episode 3 of The Sea Devils. We've been enjoying it so far. It's been a week. Wow. Wow. Look at this. Look at this. It's like you are in the credits.
The vortex has been bleeding out into my room. I don't know what to do about it. It's quite annoying.
I think I've just seen Sutek surfing the vortex behind you.
Clinging onto the TARDIS. Yeah, those are for a little short film I'm making at the weekend, but I'll probably keep them afterwards and just have them in my room for ambiance.
Nice, nice. So this was quite a good finish, wasn't it? We liked this. Although we did wonder why there were just swords lying around in the prison, but you know.
For this moment, Paul.
Exactly. The moment has been prepared for.
They'll probably... The guards thought, oh, you never know, there might be a moment where the Doctor comes in and they have a little fight, so let's leave them out, just in case, you know, they were scouts. Be prepared.
Absolutely.
Oh, the sandwich is still there. Oh no, he knocked it off.
Oh, so he knocked the sandwich on the floor, but now the sandwich is going to be back there, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Continuity error.
Continuity error.
It was definitely gone, wasn't it, from the plate? I think it's on Pertwee's backside.
I love the way he gives him the sword back, like a sort of gentleman.
I like as well that they're showing a lot of this fight again. The sandwich is there.
The ever-replenishing sandwich. So this is where we got to, wasn't it?
The knife, yeah.
The knife.
That's really cool how they've done that. That looked like slow-mo, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's very well done.
I don't know if it is actual slow-mo. So, Paul, the Master threw that knife.
Yeah.
Do you think he was aiming for the Doctor?
Don't know. You know, could he ever really finish the job?
Interesting.
So I think we're getting proper footage here of, obviously an actual submarine, but I think this may have been, it's not just stock footage, I think it's you know, the Navy were very cooperative, so I think we're actually seeing footage of an actual submarine shot for this.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I might be making that up, but I mean, I know they were very cooperative, so. Now, I think I read something about this submarine. This is obviously a model. Yeah, so it says here, after the show aired, MI5 came to the studio asking how they came up with the nuclear submarine model. Michael E. Bryant and the visual effects designer explained they simply used an off-the-shelf model kit but replaced the propeller with a vacuum cleaner part because the model's propeller didn't look seaworthy. By sheer happenstance, the vacuum cleaner part had the exact same number of blades as the real nuclear submarine's propeller, meaning they accidentally guessed classified information that revealed the sonar signal that identified British nuclear submarines.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. That is really interesting, actually, isn't it?
It's brilliant. Like,
you
how did you guys come up with this?
You can see why their suspicions were raised.
Yes, you can.
You know what's interesting about this Master, Paul? The first Master. He's not very manic, is he?
No.
Which is interesting, because I've only really just clocked that, but I'm used to, from the modern era, the Master being quite kind of manic. And there's something fun about that, but there's also something quite fun about this kind of quite measured, suave Master.
It's very much a thing of the new series.
Right, interesting.
So I don't think we ever really get a Master like that. I suppose even when Derek Jacobi is playing the Master at the beginning of Utopia or near the end of Utopia, we don't get the sense of him being manic, do we?
That's true, yeah, that's kind of the transition, isn't it?
Quite cold and calculated there. Much more, much nearer the vein of a Delgado, I suppose, but we don't get enough of him. I think he did do some big finishes, though, as the Master, I think.
Yeah, I thought it really worked for John Sims' Master. And a Missy was quite different again. And I did like aspects of Sacha Dhawan's Master, but it felt like they really cranked up the kind of crazed, manic energy, didn't they?
Yeah, I do like Delgado's Master. I think people often say he is the sort of template for the Master. Really, he is very cold and callous, but he's also sort of quite a charming character as well, isn't he?
Yeah. And the dynamic with the Doctor is just fun, isn't it? Because I think he works very well with Pertwee because they're quite similar in some ways in the way they speak.
I think they were designed to be a sort of Sherlock Holmes Moriarty-esque type relationship.
Yeah, you can totally see that, can't you? Whereas I wonder how well Delgado's Master would work with any of the other Doctors. I don't know, maybe he stays on into Tom Baker. I'll be intrigued to find out.
Yeah. Well, this is a classic scene we got here.
Oh, look at this. I recognise that cliff. Whoa, that's nice. But getting up out of the water, I like that. That was really well done.
No, it's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah. It was more of a kind of cliff
More
bottom. Yeah, at the foot of the cliff. Yeah.
I don't know if it was in that scene, but it was definitely the case for one of the people playing the Sea Devils that getting under the water with those things on was quite tricky because the head would fill with air, so it was hard to keep it down, because it wanted to bob up. But then I think the problem was they then did fill with water, and it's very hard to get the water out. So I think you could stand up out of the water and still have a head almost fully encased in water and almost drown. So I don't think health and safety was quite as strong in those days.
Man, that's pretty scary, isn't it? So to begin with, it's a buoyancy aid, and then it drowns you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dear me. Right, yeah, I mean, what have you made of that?
Sorry, I'm getting my buttons mixed up here. I really enjoyed that, actually. I thought it was nicely done. I like the fact that they resolved the cliffhanger of the knife very nearly hit the Doctor, but not quite. And as we were saying, was the Master trying to kill him, or could he? Yeah, could they never? Yeah, perhaps the Master could never actually bring himself to kill the Doctor. So that's always interesting. They're always locked in conflicts, but that bond is still there. And then, yeah, I thought the location stuff was great.
I mean, I've mentioned in one of the previous episodes that the relationship between the Doctor and the Master is really good, and every time they have dialogue, it's brilliant. I wonder though if this story is out of all the stories the Master's been in so far, is this the one where we've seen them interact the most? Because sometimes, they wouldn't cross paths that much until quite near the end, but there's been quite a lot of opportunity for them to be together in this, with the Master in the prison, like initially when the Doctor visited him, and then coming back, since the last episode and into this one, there's been quite a lot of interaction. So it seems very much. Obviously, there is something else. There is a plot going on, but there's a lot. The Doctor and the Master thing is quite big in this, isn't it? I suppose. Maybe it has been in previous. I can't think if it was in any previous ones necessarily, but.
That's interesting. I suppose we got straight in there, didn't we? The story began with the Doctor going to visit the Master, whereas in some stories he's been introduced sort of halfway through. And it does feel like because the Master's been in his quarters a lot of the time and the Doctor's been visiting, there's been more chances for them to talk. I don't know.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And again, it's felt like an episode, like the first two episodes just whipped by. That's also whipped by as well. And it hasn't felt like the pace is slowing or it's filling time or anything like that to me.
Yeah.
And then, just that ending as well. Obviously, the Sea Devil coming up out of the water.
That was genuinely quite creepy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's a perfect example of the stuff we've talked about before. And I know Jon Pertwee had said about having the stuff being much more grounded. So you could that's just a beach, isn't it? It's a normal kind of looking beach. You as a child or someone could go to a beach like that, having watched Doctor Who, and then imagine that out of the water these creatures are going to come. And so it works really well in that sense, doesn't it? That it really grounds the threats into a more realistic world, I suppose. You're never going to get Agador in the Curse of Peladon appearing sort of in the bedroom, are you? So unless you're into that kind of thing.
Hasn't happened this week.
No.
But last week. Anyway, well, yeah, no, lots of food for thought.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave that there. We'll let people see what you guys make of it at home. Let us know down in the comments. And do, if you want to chat more about Doctor Who in general, you can join our Discord server, which there's a link for that in the description down below. And we also have Patreon. So for those of you who'd like to watch the full reactions, maybe sit and watch Doctor Who of an evening along with us, you can join our Patreon. There are a couple of different tiers there, a couple of little bonuses for people, and the links for that is in the description as well, and you can peruse that at your leisure. But apart from that then, we shall see you soon for episode 4. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.